Hello everyone! In this video, we will talk about the best build for Topaz and Numby. Topaz follows the path of the hunt and has a fire element. Numby is Topaz's trotter companion, and in battle, he is the one who deals most of the damage. Numby has its own speed and will attack automatically, and he will also attack when Topaz uses her skill. As for Topaz's ultimate, it enhances Numby and has no damage on its own. At the moment, there's no relic set in the game that focuses on follow-up attacks. That's not a big problem though, as Topaz and Numby will manage perfectly well with increased fire damage and speed. You can use the full Firesmith of Lava-Forging set if you prefer a more skill point heavy Topaz and Numby build, with more skill use, but it's arguably better to combine Firesmith of Lava-Forging with a two-piece Messenger of Traversing Hackerspace. The speed boost will benefit the duo more than the skill boost, since most of their damage output comes from follow-up attacks, combined with the ultimate's effect. As for the best Planar Ornament set for Topaz and Numby, go for Inert Salsotto. It's the only set that improves follow-up attack damage, making it a great choice for your Topaz and Numby build. Just beware that you'll need a critical rate of at least 50% to trigger the effect. Topaz and Numby are a fire character whose attacks scale with their attack power, making fire damage boost and attack percentage their most important stats. As is usually the case for DPS characters, you should further maximize the damage potential with critical rate, or critical damage, in case your critical rate is already very high. Although it wouldn't be bad to use attack percentage on the feat slot as well, it's typically better to use speed. If you have a fully upgraded 5-star Speed Relic, you'll push Topaz's speed to 135, granting her a double turn in the first round. Thanks to the massive critical rate, critical damage, and follow-up attack damage boost, the 5-star Worrisome, Blissful is by far the best light cone for Topaz and Numby. If you're looking for the best 4-star light cone, Swordplay should be your #1 choice as it quickly stacks up Topaz and Numby's damage bonus. Return to Darkness can be a good option too if you're willing to build Topaz and Numby more as a support, and less as a DPS. Thanks to Numby's many attacks, you'll have a good chance of removing a buff from your opponent, but make sure you have a high critical rate too. Naturally, the best Topaz and Numby teams consist of characters who can use follow-up attacks. Without Eidolon upgrades, this includes Himiko, Kafka, Clara, Jing Yuan, Blade, Yanqing, Herta, and March 7th. Not every teammate needs to use follow-up attacks, but it's a good idea to have at least one other follow-up DPS on your Topaz team. If you wish to maximize Topaz and Numby's DPS role, it's best to pair them with a buff support as well. Asta is especially interesting since she can boost her team's fire damage. Naturally, don't forget to pick a healer or shield provider. Let's see a few examples. The Topaz and Numby fire team is focused on dealing as much fire damage as possible, partly through follow-up attacks. Himiko will deal her usual damage and launch a huge follow-up attack whenever enemy weaknesses have been broken 3 times. Although her speed boost is super helpful, the main reason why Asta is the best support for this Topaz and Numby team is her fire damage boost. Her Ignite Trace bonus increases the team's fire damage by 18%, which benefits everyone except March 7th. Speaking of March 7th, she's there to shield everyone and deal counter damage on the side. As this is considered a follow-up attack, she'll further advance Numby's attacks. In the Topaz and Numby Clara team, every time Clara gets hit, her companion Svarig will launch a follow-up attack against the perpetrator. Whenever Svarig's follow-up attack hits an enemy inflicted with Proof of Debt, Numby's follow-up attack will be advanced forward, making them a great combo. Besides being an excellent healer, Lynx can use her skill to place a taunt effect on Clara, causing her to get hit more often and thus triggering Svarig's and Numby's attacks more often too. Tingyun is an excellent support for this Topaz and Numby team as she can boost Topaz and Numby's attacks while also advancing their ultimate, allowing Numby to receive even more buffs. And that is the end of the guide. I hope it was helpful. Like the video and subscribe for more. Good luck!